Okay, hi, welcome back to another M-Cave Nevada Desert related video. This time round, it's not what I've seen or what I've discovered, it's giving my opinion from what someone else has supposedly seen. So basically, the source of it travels back to Jeff Clark's video M-Cave Mine, which I'll credit below the video to that. And one individual user on YouTube left a comment noting that they saw an alien extraterrestrial within one of the still photos. Now the question is it an alien or is it not? And basically, I'm just going to be giving my opinion on what I think it is, what it looks like, and either debunking it or saying it is what it is. Basically one of those type videos. So as I said, I'll credit people down below and we'll get into it now.
Right, so this is the photo within Jeff Clark's video which highlights and captures the alien within sight in the distance. Now the person that left the comment, another user, did a video themselves pointing out where it exactly was, because when I was looking myself I was like, right, I can't see anything, there's nothing there, nothing there, nothing down here, and I was confused. But then the pinpointed it and basically it's where that circle is. So we zoom in now. So it might be viewable to some people, it might not be to some people. I can't really zoom in anymore at the moment, but what I will do is I'll show you an interpretation, a drawing, what I did, which basically shows that without all the rocks and everything covering it. Okay, so here is my interpretation of it to make it stand out more than it does within that photo. So you've got the top of the mountain, cliffs, whatever you want to call it, that's the top, and then down by the side, the slope of it, you supposedly see the alien either walking along by the side of it or walking down it. You know, the main bit that's distinguishable, stands out the most, is mainly the circular tumor-like head, which you'd often see on an alien, where it's, you know, quite big and then comes kind of like to a point at the end. You know, it was quite dark shaded on one side, and then you got the eyes, which do kind of show within the photo, as well as a bit of a pointy nose or mouth. The neck does stand out within the photo, I can see that. And then as you go down below, it does become a bit lighter in colouring from the photo itself. You see a bit of the chest, a bit of the shoulder, kind of looks circular, but you don't really see much of the arm. There's a little thing that does stick out, which I just interpreted as an arm slightly bent inwards, sticking up. And then the reason why I drew it quite faint is because when you look at the leg, or when you supposedly look at the leg, it isn't that clear. So that's why I've drawn it quite faint. There's only one that shows, but it looks quite twisted or something's wrapped around it. So that's my interpretation from the photo to make it kind of easier to understand where the original person was coming from when they commented about seeing this so-called alien. So I do have a slightly enhanced version with the screenshot and more zoomed in. This one here, you can kind of make it out the shaping of it now. And then also in this filter as well. You know, if you zoom in close enough, yes, you can make out some kind of circular head in a way within the middle of the screen, obviously darker on the side, but then lighter next to it. And then, you know, there's like a bit of a neck going down, maybe some kind of chest and shoulder. You can see like the shoulder circular, and then maybe like the arm that bends inwards, but the body is quite thin. And then you look at the legs, looks quite twisted or something wrapped around it, and then it ends about here at the bottom. You know, when you zoom in close enough, it does look like an alien, specifically the shape of the head and the neck. Now, if you look at it from this perspective, zoomed in like this, yes, it does look like an alien, and it could well be. It seems kind of realistic in terms of the size and the comparison to what it's surrounded by. However, look, you got to take into account depth of field and everything. Now, normally, when something is far away in the distance, it's obviously going to appear smaller. So if something looks kind of big in the distance, and it's, let's say, a human, then it must be a giant. You know what I'm saying? And you look at the comparison, you zoom in, and the height of the head to the bottom of the leg is almost like the same height as some of these mountains and rocks. It's just not believable enough. You get me? I'm sure you do. So yeah, it kind of looks like an alien when you zoom in close enough, but then when you take in perspective, depth of field and everything like that, as well as the terrain, the size of the mountains, because they are quite high, that if that was truly an alien, it would be a giant based off from the rocks and like the mountains and the hills. So it can't be an actual alien because of the size of it. It's not realistic enough. And you know, if it was that big, I'm sure Jeff would have seen it himself if it was moving along, or I'm sure Area 51 or whoever would have picked up on it way beforehand. But, you know, it's surprising what you can see in pictures and footage.
So yeah, in conclusion, I'd say that sums it up pretty much. You know, at the end of the day, I can understand where they're coming from, how they see it, because yeah, it looks like it, but realistically, it's not. But equally, the reason why I show understanding is simply because, like, when on Really Robin's video and I saw that rock face in the background, now I wasn't going all in obviously, but I did say, oh, it looks like a face, it looks like a demon, but realistically it wasn't. It was just the way the rock structuring was, the shading, the colouring and the shape of it, geometry. So that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day, a little trick on the eyes, you know what, etc. But, you know, credit to them for good vision, because not everyone can see certain key details, and at times those key details can be meaningful or helpful. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, the location itself, the overall location, the size of it, although you could argue quite desolate and very open, I'm sure there's a fair few mysteries within that place. Certain items, certain objects, considering, you know, the way the laws are supposedly, can't fully remember, like you can't touch stuff or take stuff home with you, so, you know, it's almost like a graveyard in a way of certain items. And then obviously the caves as well, the mines, maybe tunnels, and obviously with the 3 military bases like a triangle. You know, there's quite a bit going on, obviously. I guess the question is, what will pop up next? Now, obviously there's only so much you can take from, you know, the current footage, whether it's from Kenny's video, maybe Sean's video, and even Jeff's videos, but, you know, and even Scott's, the recent one. But maybe there is more newer footage that is needed to be able to look at different areas. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, just a brief one. So yeah, goodbye.